Hi, hello. Thanks for coming to my reselling channel, Flippin' Hippos, and joining me for today's video. I'm Star. Today is Wednesday, so we're going to do a video for my organization and time management series for 2026 that I'm calling Get Your Shit Together. This one's going to be a two-part. Today is going to be part one of time blocking and why it is so important for resellers to implement time blocking as part of their strategy and procedures of running their business. And then next Wednesday, we will tackle how to implement time blocking and how to go about it and get it set up so that it becomes a natural part of your routines. Time blocking is honestly the difference between being busy and being productive. That's how important it is. As a reseller, we wear many hats. We're juggling sourcing, shipping, listing, photos, customer service, research, bookkeeping, content if you create it. All of this. And without any structure to your day or where you're spending your time, your day and your time is just going to disappear. Just disappear. Time blocking is so important, especially for resellers. I feel like because we have so many aspects to our job, that's why it's so much more important for us to time block than anyone else. You have to have time to do all of the things that we need to do in a day in order for us to be successful. Listing is how you generate your income. Sourcing is how you get your inventory. Shipping is part of your income because if you don't ship it, you're not going to make money. And if you don't ship it, you're going to lose your accounts. And it also helps your customers be happy. Those are the three things we need to do as resellers. List, source, ship. I mean, there's a lot more. I already mentioned all of it at the beginning of the video, but that's the three basic things that you have to prioritize and make time for every day. Do you have to go thrifting every day? No. But do you have to plan your time out in such a way that you thrift enough for several days? Or buy wholesale like I do? Or go to the store these days? That's what time blocking is for. You decide how and when you're spending your time. Remember, time management also means using your time wisely. So when you're listing, don't spend 2 hours looking for comps. When you're sourcing, don't fiddle far around in the store. Look at what you like to source, comp it if need be, get in and get out. When you're shipping, have a shipping station set up where everything is nice and neat and organized. Have a good inventory management system, first of all. Let me back it up. Have a good inventory management system so that you can say these items sold and they're here, 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 and here. And you can pluck them out and then you take them to your shipping station and you have all your supplies right there and boom, it's streamlined. Time blocking can also help you reduce your decision fatigue. You guys hear me say on this channel all the time that I have really good routines. And every day when I go to work or come into my office, I know first I do this and then I do this. After this, I do this and then I do this. That is my day. Every day. Each day can be different and some are different. They're all actually pretty different from each other. But I have a general time blocked routine schedule for each day. And again, first I do this, then I do this, and then I do this. I'm not sitting here wasting time deciding what should I work on. And I also don't waste time on what I feel like working on because it doesn't matter what I feel like doing that day. Because again, when I wake up and I go to work, it does not matter what I feel like doing. First I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this. And when you can get that ingrained into your brain, you will be so much more productive. When your day is pre-decided, you just execute. You just come in here and you get things done Doesn't matter what you feel like, doesn't matter what you're thinking, doesn't matter what else is going on. You come in here, everything's decided for you. There's no choices to be made. You execute all of your tasks. You don't have to overthink. You're not bouncing around. You're working in batches because that's the way to be most productive. You're also not half finishing projects. A lot of resellers run into starting something and then getting sidetracked and going over here and not fully completing anything. They start watching a YouTube video. They start organizing their inventory. They list only 3 items and they start to do something else. When you time block, it helps you to batch all of your similar tasks together and actually finish those cycles. So again, when it's time to do something, that is what you do for that allotted time. And when I say time blocking, most folks say I'm going to photograph for an hour, but it doesn't have to specifically be time blocking when you're scheduling tasks. But you can say from this time to this time is photos, this time to this time is listings, or you can set up your time blocking to, I have to photograph 20 items, I have to list 10 of those. But you have to have a goal, whether it's an amount of time or an amount of items. That way you finish the complete cycle of each task and you're staying within your batch working and you're not getting distracted. The time for the YouTube videos and the time to be distracted and the time to goof off, that's your reward time. When you finish your tasks, when you finish your time blocks, you get a reward. 10 minutes on TikTok, go downstairs, get a snack, go for a walk, things like that. Time blocking and routines also create consistency. And I cannot stress how important it is because platforms reward consistency. It does not matter which platform you sell on, or if you upload videos to TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. They all reward consistency. If you consistently list new items, if you consistently upload new videos, you are rewarded in the algorithms and you will see the results. Listing 5 to 10 items every single day is better than 40 in one day and skipping the next 4 days. And eBay has the ability to allow you to schedule your listings if you need to. But you need to show up consistently and have consistency every single day instead of a dump of work here and then skipping days. You need to work under consistency and not your emotions. Time blocking will also help you to prevent burnout because remember that little word I love so much, work-life balance. When you don't time block, when you don't have specific routines in place, your work is going to bleed into your free time. Whether your free time is the evenings, the weekends, or another day that you choose to have off, everyone should have free time. And I don't say specifically the weekends or the evenings because I know some resellers work evenings and weekends, and that's fine. But you do need to pick a time that is your free time. You should take a full, at least 1 day off a week, if not 2. But I would think the bare minimum, you should be taking 1 day off a week and a couple of evenings if you can. And you don't want your workload or your work time to bleed into that. If you've decided, I'm going to take Wednesday evenings off, that's your time to play games with your family, watch TV, binge movies, read, whatever you like to do. And you want to be able to do that because that's important for the work-life balance. So having these really strict routines or using time blocking really allows you to make that line of demarcation. This is work, this is free time. If you don't make that distinction, you can feel like you're constantly working all the time. Like you never clock out. Like you never get that balance. And then what happens is you get burnt out, and then you start wasting time because you're so burnt out, you feel like you can't work anymore. So if you consistently make that time for yourself once a week, take a day off, the other 6 days you're rejuvenated, you're refreshed, you're excited, you want to work. But if you're constantly working all the time, it just gets to a point where you're over it, but you're still not allowing yourself that day off. You're still not time blocking. You're still not having routines in that line of this is work and this is free time. If you are burnout and tired and you are still not doing all of that, that is when you find yourself in the middle of the day on a doom scroll mission on TikTok or going down a rabbit hole on YouTube and just not being productive at all because you're burnt out. You cannot be productive and work when you are burnt out. You have to take time for yourself. There are a lot of resellers who have this addiction to being a workaholic and they will not admit that to themselves. But I guarantee you, if you look at their workday, they are far less productive than they could be. They are getting far less done than they should be because they're burnt out. Give yourself that day off and come back and work harder. I cannot express how super important work-life balance is. And in order to achieve that, you need routines. And those routines are usually created by time blocking. Time blocking absolutely is the cornerstone to being successful and healthy. You have a defined work time, a defined stop time. You have mental boundaries. You have the ability to turn off for a little bit and just take a break. And then you come back and you're going to be more productive because you're rested. Your batteries are recharged. And this is really important for us because we work from home and not everyone has a large enough home to make that line of demarcation or distinction between their workspace and their living space. If you have the ability to do that, I highly recommend it because that also helps that mental clarity of this is work, this is free time. If you have a room you can dedicate to your office and only do your business in that office. And then do your free time and your recreation in the living room or whatever. If you don't have a spare room, can you like carve out maybe a corner of your dining room or a corner of your living room that's just dedicated to your business and you only do business there? And then when you take your breaks, step out from that corner and go sit on the couch, go sit at the dining room table. Just make sure you have like different spaces. You want the mental space, the mental clarity of this is work time, this is free time. But it's good to have that physical space too. That does really help. I know not everyone has the ability to create an entire office or what have you, but you could maybe make a corner, just a little space. So that's just things to think about this week. I want you to start ruminating in your head that this is important and this is how I'm going to probably end up doing it. How you're going to want your routines to look, what you want your time blocks to look like, how you want your day to look. Because different people like to do different things in different order. Some people like to ship first thing. Some people like to list first thing with their coffee. Like you have to decide how you want to work. And then we're going to come back next Wednesday and we're going to talk about how to actually implement the time blocking. And we're going to be doing some thinking and brainstorming. So I would recommend next Wednesday bringing a pen and pencil so you can write something, a pen and pencil, because you're going to be able to take notes if you bring a pen and a pencil, right? Bring a pen and a piece of paper next Wednesday so we can write things down and get everybody on a good path towards a good routine with time blocking. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything you saw in this video, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. It helps me feed my hippos. Bye.